All right, it's media day, and we are joined with East Bernard head coach Jeremy Jenkins, who last year was his first year on the job. And that's where I really want to start. How do you feel you got your culture, your message across that first year to the point where maybe at the end of the year, it's like, okay, I got a team that's bought in. We can really build some nice stuff here at East Bernard.
The great thing, this was the first place that didn't need a culture change. You know, the other places, there's some things that really helped me once I got the mentality change. But here, the parents and Coach Bossy were so good. Like the kids just care and they show up and they do their best all the time. So I don't need to change that culture. So I just kind of piggybacked, off of what was said here. And, it's really a dream for coaches when you have parents that set the culture, and here the parents have expectations of just doing your best all the time. And that's really, if you do your best all the time, that pretty much sets you up for life. So the way we do some things is different. So the kids responded to that right away. The kids really enjoyed the changes we had there. So, we've really hit the ground running.
A lot of people talk about the changes, maybe opening up the offense a little more for what they were in the history. I know we kind of beat that to death last year with you when we came out in the preseason. But what was that even a factor or no? Was it just trying
Oh, of
to let?
course. Of course, it was huge. And the kids love it, right? I mean, the kids, everybody gets to touch the ball. The kids love 7-on-7. And the great thing here, it was not forced by any stretch of the imagination. And they had went to the spread the year before I got here for the first time.
Right.
Um, but the strength of our team is our wide receiver core. That's the deepest part. Our line's not very big, but like we have skill guys running out our ears. So the good thing is that's the right fit for us, and we're going to throw the ball more. We have a lot of really good quarterbacks here, but by far our deepest position is not running backs, and it's definitely not the O line. Like we have receivers running out the ears. Now that's always music to kids' ears, right?
Right, right.
Kids don't, kids like throwing the football. That's what they see on Sundays, and really for the first time, what I thought was interesting as I watched our region, the top teams in the region were all kind of past. They were 50-50, which
Right,
really, really surprised me. There was no like the teams that ran the ball heavy, they didn't make it, right? It's
right.
the Tidehavens of the post. Lexington, they're about 50-50. Like they're going to throw the ball on first down. They're going to keep you off balance. So, and that's usually not how small school football is. Big school is
Yeah.
that way. But I'm saying small football is finally understanding, especially, I mean, you're going to have to run the ball, obviously, but you've got to throw the ball nowadays. You've got to, when you place that team better than you, you've got to be able to, to be multiple. So it's been a great fit. But there's no doubt the kids definitely like
No
spreading
doubt.
it out. They're not fans of the slot T or wing T or any of that stuff.
Well, I know one of the kids that loved spreading it out was Amari Jones because he ended up getting himself offensive MVP. He's coming back with you. You got Jackson coming back playing both sides of the ball, right? And he found himself on the first team all district on both sides of the ball. Talk about some of these skill position guys that you talked about that are coming back and have already got a year under your belt. And I'm assuming with maybe not depth in the offensive line, you get these balls to these kids quickly and let them use their skills to get that thing down the field.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, that's really the strength of the team. And I don't know like how many times I've heard of a receiver getting offensive MVP. Amari was a sophomore and he
Yeah,
got the offensive MVP as a receiver. So that tells you something about his talent. I mean, usually it's quarterbacks, right? Maybe a running back.
right.
Um, and then Jackson, the first thing we noticed when we really started going analyzing the season, it was like every time he touches the ball, like he breaks the tackle and good things happen. He didn't get the ball enough. And that's why we've been evaluating our year. We're looking back, we got to throw the ball more. Like that
Right.
was like Jackson's got to touch the ball more. Amari didn't touch the ball enough. Amari got like 40 catches and like 10 touchdowns, like he's every time he's got to touch the ball more. And then we've got some really explosive other guys too in the receiver department. We're not forcing the spread here. Like I'll do whatever it takes to win, but
Right.
those guys got to touch the ball, and they were probably about as good as we got on defense too. We were straight man, and those two guys were on an island, and I don't know that they gave up many passes. Those two guys, and Jackson's just can do everything. He's one of the few kids I've ever coached. Like he could literally play DN, linebacker, safety. He can do anything. He's one of the best football players, most versatile football players I've ever coached, and he's starting catcher on the baseball team. I think 17 or 18-1. Like he can do anything.
Talk a little bit. We talked about the offense. Talk little bit about the defense, because you do have a couple guys coming out that I've noticed coming back with Blunston and Zapalek. I don't know. I'm not pronouncing that last name right, but maybe
you got it right, Zapalek. Those two
guys on the trenches.
To Marcus and Domel were the anchor of the whole team last year, right? They anchored both lines. That was Ty Domel and to Marcus Sanders. But we really think these two guys. I think they're both up to 230 right now. I think Zapalek said he was 212 or something when we played. So they're bigger, faster, stronger, but they're more vocal, because as much as, we are talking about receivers, the anchor, the lines are going to anchor.
Yeah.
Right. The lines are going to anchor your team. You're not getting away from poor line play. And those two guys, the tight end, they play O-line, play D-line, but they're definitely going to anchor the D-line, which is, that's where we look to build the foundation of our team. And we do think those two guys are the leaders. I mean, they're already stepping up. We think those two guys are, they're becoming more vocal. We do think you hit the nail on the head with those two. We need them to be the next Ty Domel and to Marcus Sanders.
I guess lastly, talking about last season, you jumped in there, nine straight wins. Your two losses were by a total of 3 points, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
What can you learn from close losses against highly competitive teams? Obviously, Tidehaven made it all the way to, and they're replacing their coach, of course, but they made it all the way to the semifinals for like 2-3 straight years. That means it's a very good team. Poth is a good team. Talk to me about what you may have learned from those close losses and that you can carry into the 2025 fall season.
So much easier to hand the ball off, right? But really what I've learned is to build a little more depth and just take what the defense gives you. Even if it's a playoff and it's risky, it's a little scary to throw the ball sometimes. But if that's what the defense is giving you, you just got to take it, So
sounds like if Ramus fans loved your offense last year, man, they might really love it this year if you're opening it up so much. So it sounds like there's going to be a lot of cheering on the sidelines over there at East Bernard. Coach, I appreciate you joining me. I know we're 4 months away, but we're in Texas. We can talk about it anytime.
Football.
Exactly.
I always like it. So,
all right, Coach, thank you very much for joining us, man. Have a great off season.
Thank you.